Welcome to Koi Keepers Anonymous, the show for koi addicts, pond nerds, and anyone who said they'd stop buying fish but didn't. I'm Ty, and with me is Woody, Mickey,
Hello.
Oh, I need to say hi. I'm sorry, I forgot this is a podcast. So, hello. Thanks for having me. I was waving if there happens to be anybody.
We have this
just listening.
imaginary friend named Woody.
We felt the sentiment.
and Devin.
Hey,
So this week we've got a couple of questions. Some of them, I got one that's really juicy that I'm excited to show you guys, but I'm going to save that one for last. But before we jump into questions, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything exciting going on in your worlds this week?
I'm really excited about having launched our podcast. How about that? I've been telling everybody about it.
everybody that comes into our store, Mickey's like, "Do you listen to podcasts?"
It makes a lot more sense, I think, for Mickey and Devin to be spreading the good word in person than it does me or Woody. I walk into the 7-Eleven, hey, you like podcasts?
Yeah.
You never know. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. So, it was so strange because I had a Tomiga shirt on and you were at a restaurant and someone came up from behind me like, oh wow, that's koi. Do you have a store somewhere near here? 2 people in the same restaurant that night. So you never know.
You said you have a Tomigai shirt. Wait a second. What is Tomigai? I think there's people that might not know what Tomigai is.
It's the best fish food in the world.
I agree. I agree. Tomigai is a wonderful fish food. All our fish get exclusively fed Tomigai.
I'm actually having conversations with Tomigai right now to see if they'll officially sponsor this podcast.
That would be cool.
I think they should do it. I think they will do it.
Let's see if you can land this deal, Ty. I'm counting on you.
Yeah, we really need this, Ty.
They don't call me the closer at work for nothing.
Do they really?
No, nobody's ever called me that before.
Well, I have been called a fish growing master, and as a fish growing master, I can tout that I am a Tomigai user.
Is Tomigai the secret to growing your koi huge?
It's one of the secrets. It's not the only secret, but yes.
Okay. We'll get to the others one day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how we know it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
We're all very biased when it comes to Tomigai.
My first introduction to Tomigai was, I think, about 15 years ago. There was a YouTube video on how to grow koi fish big, and it was Andy Moo from Andrew's Koi. And he's giving like a clinic at his koi shop, and he's wearing a Tomigai.
No way.
kidding.
That's
And
awesome.
so I didn't know what Tomigai was, but then I went into your store and saw Tomigai on the shelf. I was like,
That is
Well-
awesome.
You guys, should we get into our first question?
Yes.
I'm excited.
Okay. I have had a fish pond in my backyard for 30 plus years now, with the exception of 1 year when we moved the pond and the koi were moved inside into a large tank that ultimately wasn't big enough for them and they died. Over the years, I have raised many koi, and because we have raccoons and herons, I learned to stop buying collectible beauties and have opted to buying 10 or 12 at a shot of 3-inch fish and then letting them grow for anywhere from 1 to 8 years before the next animal disaster. Well, this year, we had a terrible heat spell, and my son had unplugged the pond pump and forgot to put it back, so disaster. I bought 10 from, I'm not going to put the company's name that sold these fish, but I bought 10 fish from blank and got 9 fish with 2 DOA.
Dead on
Dead on
arrival.
arrival.
Oh, with 2 dead on arrival. And the next day, 5 more died. It was shipped without any ice packs, and the box arrived on its side. They did partial refunds, but they don't refund shipping. And ultimately, I ended up paying $60 for one fish, possibly two, because there is one MIA that I haven't seen dead or alive. So I decided to try different company instead. And the overnight shipment didn't arrive overnight. On the 17th, UPS delivered it 20 minutes away on the 17th and didn't deliver the dead fish until 7:21. Oh my gosh, they're supposed to arrive on the 17th and they didn't show up till the 21st.
Wow.
That's 4 days, right?
Yeah, a
Wow.
really horrifying situation. They were very good about arranging for a replacement order, and the order shipped yesterday and just arrived. But boy, disappointed doesn't fully capture my feelings regarding the batch of ugly fish that arrived. I have written them asking them to call, but who knows? They don't post a phone number anywhere, so I am expecting to have to deal with them by email. So look at the ordering page for the standard koi fish here. I'm going to send you guys a picture really quick.
Okay.
And compare that with the photos of what was shipped and tell me what you think. If 2 or 3 were such ugly plain Janes, I wouldn't complain. But there isn't one in the batch that looks like the photos or what they posted. What do you think? What would you do? They sell koi fish online and you can order them in like a batch, right? Like I'm going to order 10 fish or something. And they show you photo examples of what the kinds of fish they have will look like that they're going to send you.
Mm.
And the fish that I saw in those pictures, I mean, there's, I mean, they're okay looking fish, you know.
A lot of
There's
colors.
a lot of colors that are
Mhm.
happening. And then the picture of
Yes.
the bag that they have, it just looks like a bunch of
One
shiramuji,
color.
right?
Yeah.
With maybe like
To
a
be
little like tiny smudge of orange on it or black or something.
to be fair though, too, like the photos are taken from below, so that's always like a horrible angle to view the fish from because they're
Yeah.
all usually gonna have like white bellies, but it really does not look like they have much color on the top, even from the bad angle. That is quite disappointing. Was this a replacement batch because the previous ones arrived dead on arrival?
Yes.
What they were buying had a sample of yellow, like,
Yeah, it's not a representation of the sample photos that
at
were sent
all.
for
No.
sure.
Yeah.
So that's very
In fact,
disappointing.
I think there's only one fish that's just one, just a white fish on the
Yeah,
sample
I do
photo.
see one shiramuji
And
looking
that's
fish
it.
in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, as a consumer, how would you feel about receiving that?
I would be pissed.
They paid $60 for one fish when they had paid for 12, and I was like, $60 for one fish? That sounds like a good deal to me. But
It's true.
I'm
Yeah.
also maybe looking at different kinds of fish.
That's six because you're coming from the standpoint of like probably a better quality fish, whereas even the sample photo that you're seeing, they're not like great fish. They're not even, I would say, like recognizable varieties per se.
No.
How much were these like this?
They didn't say how much they paid for this different company to send them fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it doesn't matter what you pay. If that's what you're expecting to get, a mix of like at least 2 or 3 different colors, that's fine. But if you get everything that's all white, I'd be really disappointed as a consumer.
I want to hear your tinfoil hat theories about how this happened.
So we see Shiramuji as not so pretty, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not really seriously into koi, or you just see pretty fish, it's amazing how many people actually want just a plain white fish.
Yeah.
I will say, I have seen a shiramuji before that I was like, that's cool. But that was like a 90 cm shiramuji. That was
Mm-hmm.
just flawless, right?
Yeah, it does make a, I mean, case
I
by
think
case basis.
these fish are worse than shiromurgi. They're not Shiramuji. They're gray. These are sure, a nice Shiramuji is pretty good. There might be one in there. The other ones are all more gray than white.
These are actually from the Asian grocery live fish section. I take it back. That might be prettier.
I used to always want to rescue a fish from there, and they would never sell them to me to take.
They never let you bring it live.
No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, no.
I was recently at one, and they had live octopus for sale for $8. I was like, man, I want an octopus as a pet.
Did you try to buy one?
No, I don't have a tank set up for it, so I'm not going to buy it and then try to set up a tank.
You know what? There is one yellowfish in here.
Is there?
One.
Yeah,
There's
very
one.
cool yellow.
There's one yellow, yeah.
And then there are some that are black, have black pattern underneath. So, okay, now that I'm looking at it closer again, sometimes fish, when they're stressed out, they lose color.
This is true. I know,
Mhm.
especially Sumi will look really, really faint.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering now, what if it shipped as a kohaku and landed as a shiramuji?
Yeah.
The yellow one
I could
might
see
get
where
better.
Ty's pointing out where the Sumi could like recede during shipping. But even then, they shipped all like Shiro Utsuri. There's no variety, especially compared to like the sample photo.
This is true, but they also have shusui,
But I don't see
and
any in
it's
this
shira.
bag.
There's one,
I could see a Shisui in there.
and there's a shiratsuri for sure, and you never know, the other one might be a beko. But I think there's not enough red. Yellowfish are always popular just because of pop of color.
You know what? I'm really curious though. Like, how has this person had such bad luck with shipping fish? I've never really run across that in years and years of shipping fish where, 4 days to deliver a box of fish and then another one also doesn't show up or shows up all dead. Like, what's going on with, like, where is this person located? Somewhere super remote where it's, UPS or FedEx doesn't deliver to?
Yeah, that's a good point. But also their whole problem is, okay, animals keep getting my fish, so my solution is to just buy cheap fish.
Yeah,
So,
that is true.
yeah, I think you can do better.
Yeah.
There's ways to mitigate like the predators from being able to get your fish.
Yeah,
Should we talk
make
about
some
the
effort.
many ways you could mitigate that? How would you mitigate predators? Because that's a common question that people come in here to
Right.
So
ask.
here's what you do. You get somebody who's really good at like engineering and good at software, right? And you have them build you a turret gun that shoots paintballs that can identify a heron. And if they come to the pond, now I'm sure you'd like get in trouble with like
Yeah,
the
probably.
government for shooting paintballs at a heron.
That reminds me of the
What
ridiculous
about
last
those?
episode of Breaking Bad. Did you guys see Breaking Bad?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
well,
What happened?
in the show finale, he builds such a weapon.
Really?
But not with paint bullets, real bullets. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry for the
What
big
about
spoiler, but
those?
that show's already 15 years old. So
Yeah.
What about those? I've been seeing a lot of Halloween videos now where like they'll pop out the
Those
raccoons
jump
eating
scare.
the
You
the
scare the
raccoons.
raccoon or the mountain
Uh-huh.
lion or yeah.
What about those?
it's worth a try.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
my first pond, I had heron attacks, and I had a dog in the yard most of the on and off throughout the day. I think that helped a little bit, but I think the heron was coming at the break of dawn before we woke up, and they did get a lot of fish. So the next pond I built, I had a net that covered the whole pond that I would, when I wasn't home or overnight, I would just put the net over the pond.
Hmm.
My new
Mhm.
pond is 6 feet deep with straight walls, and
Mhm.
that's the solution because most predators uh, can't reach that depth, and the fish are smart enough to go deep when the predator comes. Now, there's
Yeah.
still the chance that a predator can get lucky and maybe get one fish. So it's not the best method, but it's better than, having an ugly net over your pond, probably.
This is
Yeah.
true.
You
Yeah, and
know
there's
what?
also like those scarecrow devices where it's like motion activated sprinklers.
Hmm.
And then another good way, especially for like herons, if you can like make a fence around your pond with like fishing line, so they can't see it, but they walk into it and they bump into it, it freaks them out. So then they just kind of like flee the scene. That works well as that
Right. You
works
see
good
that
as
on a
well.
lot of the Japanese mud ponds, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
have like fishing line over the pond also.
Yeah, that's also for like birds that like swoop in too to try to like grab stuff, or even like cormorants that'll like dive into the pond and like try to swallow the fish.
I saw one
Mm,
pond that was, I think, a client of yours that had a chain link fence over the top of the pond,
Oh, yeah,
right?
the one we made,
In
Oh
the
yeah, we
custom
made
one.
a cover. It's like
in Monterey Park.
aluminum, expanded aluminum cover to keep like
Mhm.
raccoons out.
And it was
That
custom
is
made
very
and
heavy duty. I mean, and so I was just
oh,
visiting
yeah.
a buddy of mine who lives up in near Tehachapi in Bear Valley
Hmm.
Springs, and they have bears up there. And I was
Mm,
talking to him about, koi ponds and stuff, and he was like, "Well, yeah, we have a lot of bears, and I think that a bear would be a formidable predator for any of these.
yeah.
I mean, bears will 6 feet or not, they're getting in there, right? They can swim, they can dive, and I think that would be the only thing that would even work against a bear."
A lot of people around the area where we're in, like in the foothill mountains of the Sierra Nevadas, have issues with bears coming into ponds.
Hmm.
And most people use like those swimming pool covers. They're like the type where like if a child falls on it, they won't like fall through or nothing. And that
Hmm.
seems to actually keep the bears out. Like one customer of ours was showing us a video where the bear was walked out on the pond and was like jumping on like a trampoline. It was crazy.
Cute.
I heard that the only like surefire like solution is an electric fence.
Yeah, you can do that. There's like electric fences that are like lower. You can ring around the outside of the pond. That works well for like raccoons and like birds to a certain extent.
Will that affect the fish? I mean, there's a danger too with the fish, no?
No, because if the wire were to ground itself, then it wouldn't work properly. So it's adequately like kept separate from the ground. So only like something that touches it is going to get electrocuted.
plus, they're like what, 24-volt or
Yeah.
something? Like,
Oh, okay. I mean, you hear electric fence and
Yeah.
you just like imagine the worst, right?
I mean, yeah, it's still not fun, but I don't think
Hmm.
it's like kill you, zaps you. It just
Well,
is, yeah,
cartoons.
unpleasant.
Yeah.
I'm imagining cartoons.
You see their skeleton and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You see their inside.
I keep trying to find questions that aren't just, why did my fish die?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because there's so many of those questions.
Yeah, but I think
And
it's
there's never enough information to try to answer those questions, it feels like.
there you
Yeah.
go.
But bottom line, I would be very disappointed if I was that customer and I
Yeah.
was expecting what was in the picture. However,
Same.
I think that customer, has other issues also.
I would be disappointed to have received those fish.
Hmm.
And I guess what I'm saying when I say you get what you pay for is if you're willing to spend a little bit more money and you can actually select and pick out the exact fish you're getting, you at least won't be disappointed in that regard because you have no idea what's going to show up.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even the sample photo and the delivered fish, there is something that is very similar between those two, and that's they're both quite skinny. I'm not sure if they had enough strength to be able to like survive the trip per se.
Mm. It would be good to know if the box had been insulated.
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never. Okay, next question. Unless there's anything else we want to talk about.
Buy from better dealers. Buy from Demikoi. This ad was brought to you by Demikoi. Buy from the best.
Okay, I'm going to send you guys all a picture, and now I will read the question. Does this 6-inch Asagi show any promise? I'm new to selecting koi. I can't see any beni developing on it, but have read sometimes that can take upwards to 3 years on some fish. Thoughts?
I think that it's a little bit on the dark side,
That was
but
the first thought I had when I saw it.
the scales, the arrangement of the scales is really good. I was just talking to a customer today about that. If you have like a single color on a fish, if there's only one color on the fish, well, your eyes are looking at something, and that would be the scales. And you better have good scale arrangement if there's only one color. I do think there's promise there, even if it's dark, because of the scalation. Red can come much later in the future.
Yeah, without knowing like the water conditions that the fish is in and the conditions it's going to be raised in, even if it's this dark at this point, if it's moved to like softer water, it could lighten up and it could be a really good fish.
Yeah, it does have promise.
I just love the koi appreciation that's happening right now.
Look at the head's a little bit dark, but there's no like shimmy spots. The head's
That's
clear.
true.
So it's not like beyond the point of repair. It still has a chance to like turn out depending on, how it's raised.
Mm-hmm.
And like Mickey said as well, the beni can develop much later. At Tosai, you usually don't see it.
Well, I don't like it. I think it's a bad fish.
That's just because you hate Asagi.
This is true.
I'm just trying to make the podcast interesting. Somebody's got to not agree with everybody, right?
So I know that Woody is not fan of Asagi when they're small, but you're starting to like them as they get a little bit bigger, yes?
That's true. I'm coming around. It's not one of the varieties that, I fell in love with yet, but a great one is undeniable. I think, every once in a while you see a really good one. I've never raised an Asagi, but I've heard people talking about it and they say you want to pick them lighter when they're young. So this definitely would go against that.
That's what I've always heard.
Mm-hmm. And from the angle on top, you can't really tell if there's any beni at all, because if there was a little bit, it would probably be lower in a place where it's not really visible from this angle.
When I see koi fish in auctions,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're lucky and there's a little video, but a lot of the times you're just looking at a photo straight from above. I've never understood how you're supposed to select an Asagi from an auction that way.
When you're bidding at an auction, especially if it's like an auction in Japan, you're kind of relying on your man on the scene to like give you the lowdown on the fish.
And I think that's one of the most important functions of having a dealer that you can communicate with well and who you trust, and also who understands what you're looking for. It's not just about having someone there buying fish for you, or having the biggest retailer around representing you. It's also about making sure that your representative is like on your corner, on your side, like your team who understands you. I mean, that's one of the main things.
I think trust is a big thing, especially with auctions. Because as much as I want to imagine that, there's nobody out there like this, I can just see you telling your dealer, like, yeah, this is my budget that I'm willing to go up to for this fish, right? And then you won the auction and they're just like, yeah, you know what? We're just barely able to get it within your budget. But you don't actually know what.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's like, you actually won it for half that, but they're just like, yep, no, it came in right at your budget.
Yeah, I wish I don't know. I can't
I don't
speak to
think
that.
that's the thing that actually happens. Trust is too important, but
Yeah, You'd
And
like to
also,
think
other
that,
people are
yeah.
at those auctions, right? Then they would see what the price went, what it went for. And in such a small community, people talk and they know each other. And I just don't feel like maybe you could get away with that once or twice, but if you made a habit out of that, bad
Hmm.
news.
But there is also professional courtesy.
What do you mean?
If you know what somebody won it for, you're never going to tell their customer what it was won for. So you
Mhm.
can't really verify that, right? In general, that is the case. So like you said, it really is trust. It's a small industry, and a lot of the dealers have been in it for decades, or have passed on from their parents or whatever. So professional courtesy does come into play a little bit. That being said, you don't want to think your dealer does that, because there's a reason why they've been in it for a long time. And
Yeah.
it's because you'd like to think, right?
No, no, no. I was saying that more in a joking way. I don't think that's a thing that happens.
Yes, but in the back of your mind, everyone's thinking the same thing.
Buddy.
You know what a dealer is very important and valuable for, though, is sometimes when the fish are photographed or filmed, it's beautiful, right?
Mm.
And it's just a little bit more beautiful to another person than you think it's worth, or than your customer gave you the budget for. And your reputation as their professional is to, I said, understand what they're looking for. And that understanding comes in when let's say they gave you a budget of 1,000 for this fish, and you know that this person wanted a specific characteristic in that koi and it doesn't have it. You say, I know that you wanted this for 1,000 and it actually sold for 800, but I don't think this is what you wanted. Based on the photo, it looked completely different in person.
I
So
would love for somebody to do that for me. To say, no, you don't want this fish, actually.
that actually happens more often than the other situation, the other scenario,
Well, that's good to know.
at least in my experience.
So, Woody, what do you have against Asagi?
I just don't find them as interesting as some other varieties. And again, that's not fair to say, because like a really good one and also a big one. I saw a huge one not too long ago, and that was really cool. It was kind of a huge one, but also like messy. It wasn't like really nice, but just the fact that it was so big. I feel like there might be one day that an Asagi will win me over.
Oh, I think that day's coming soon, Woody.
Did you see the Asagi that they have in their grow out right now?
Oh yeah. The one that you
You know
like.
which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, with the line across the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pattern on the face.
I
Yeah,
like
that one
that.
has so much character.
I
I
think
think
that one's
so
going to
too.
be really cool when it gets big.
Yeah. That one, in contrast to like the photo of this one, it's still quite lighter.
And it has interesting pattern. I like ones that have a little bit of a head pattern or a face pattern.
Yeah, I like it when they break the mold a little bit.
I know that we're all told not to get something that's too dark, especially when it's small. What happens when you do? Does it never get lighter again? Like, it always just continuously gets darker?
They'll almost turn like black. And then one of the most important points of like Asagi is like that reticulation, where you can like see each individual scale, where it has like that mesh pattern on the body. And when they're too dark, that completely goes away. It's a solid color across the back, like completely black. And then the head can get like spotty, like a lot of shimmies and stuff like that, real dark. It's just not very appealing.
So it's not really about the color per se. It's actually about what the color promises to bring in the future. It's like it's not just going to get really dark, it's also going to get spotty.
Unlike the head. You can even get like darker spots on the body as well. Well, that's like really black, like shimmies too.
Oh, that was what I was imagining already. Actually, you said
Mhm.
head, but I already imagined like the shimmy
Yeah.
spots on the body, because that does happen quite a bit.
But maybe if you have a really dark one, then you can't see the shimmies.
Yeah.
At that point, I think it might be called a
It just becomes
Thai
one
koi
shimmy.
or something else.
Their personalities, I've heard, are a little bit spaz.
Yeah. They're definitely like the most feral of all koi varieties.
I love that description.
Feral, I think, is the best fitting description. Asagi are
I-
nuts.
I have heard they are the most likely to jump, and
Yes.
they're the most easily spooked.
Right now, my Deutschkin Matsuba is a little bit spazzy. Before that, I had a Sanke that was the culprit that would spaz out and then everyone would spaz. So I'm looking forward to a time when nobody's spazzy.
You know, that is interesting how introducing a single fish can change the like social chemistry of all of the koi in the pond, for better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
you get a Chagoi that's super friendly and personable, and all of a sudden everybody starts warming up more. Or you get a fish who gets spooked really easy and is very like finicky, and everybody's like, oh, actually, maybe I don't like this situation like I thought I did.
Right.
I think it mirrors human behavior in many ways, including the fact that it is easier to like become startled and spazzy than it seems to be like learning how to become, friendly and trusting.
Mhm.
Woody, do you have a spazzy presence in your life currently that is being mirrored by your fish?
Well, it's that, I don't know. Well, I realized that I keep having to catch myself. My one Ginrin Showa has been it. The bennies are like a lost cause. It's losing enough that I kind of want it to lose all the benny now, so that it'll be a
Dang.
nice Shiro Utsuri. So I'm trying to give that one the not color food. So I'll sit there with both kinds of food. And like when the Showa comes up, I'll like, okay, here's some spirulina. I'll give him a mouthful of spirulina. And then when the Chagoi or one of the other ones, the Shiro Utsuri comes up, like, okay, here's the not color food, right? So when I'm doing that, I have to move slow. I have to move at like the pace that the fish are moving, and then they won't spaz. So if I go slowly give it to them, then they'll be cool. But sometimes I get impatient and I'm like so desperate to get my Showa some spirulina. I'll be like, here he is. Okay, here we go. And then I'll scare them, right? So I'm the guy that like is I have to learn to slow myself down. Like on the other
Did you
story, like
cause them to be traumatized?
I have to chill. When the pond was only half full, I got in the pond with my fish, and the pond at that point was 3 feet deep. It was about half. So I got in there, and I found that if I walked around the pond very slowly at their pace, they would follow me around. So that was cute. I
Wow.
felt kind of like a little cult leader in there.
You know what? Not this summer, but the summer before,
Uh-huh.
I got into my pond and I think I had to do something with one of the bottom drains.
Uh-huh.
But I got this idea that, you know what? But when I get in, I'm going to have a fistful of food and I'm just going to like get in slow and I'm going to chill with the fish. And my Tancho Sanke is the biggest piggy in my pond. And that fish came up in my Chagoi. They both ate out of my hand while I was in the pond with them. That was kind of cool.
Nice.
That's awesome. How many times have you done that?
Twice.
Wow. Wait, 2 summers ago?
Yeah. It's not this
Is,
summer, but the summer before.
is there a reason you don't do that on the regular?
I don't want to stress the other fish out that aren't as friendly because they're really not into it.
You see, there is a point to having several ponds as opposed to one pond.
The traumatized pond and then the chill pond.
No, 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 no. The docile pond and the other pond.
The padded room pond and then the normal pond.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, hey, do you guys want to get to our last question?
Yes.
I have been so excited to talk about this. I've been sitting
Uh-oh.
on this for a little while.
Mm. Mm.
Okay.
Nice and warm.
Okay. Don't look at your phones yet. I'm going to read it first. All right. Shut down the pond for winter and washed my media. The zipper on the bag didn't stay open. No soap was used. I used the sanitizer setting so it would just get good and hot.
With
There
a
is an
washing
up.
machine?
Okay, now look at your phones.
Oh my god.
Why do I see Woody doing this?
Gross.
What?
I
Why?
wouldn't do it in the one. Not there. I would get a bin for that.
I mean, why? What were they trying to achieve here?
They're
I
trying to
mean,
sterilize their media.
but in a
Update
wash.
to add. This media was going to sit in my garage all winter, so the beneficial bacteria would all dried up and be useless by springtime. I didn't want it all stinky in the garage.
So you wanted it to be stinking up your clothes from now till eternity?
Update number 2. I bring my fish into the garage over winter. I'm in North Dakota, and we hit negative temps on a normal basis. And for now, while they are still small, I prefer to house them in my garage in a stock tank like I did last year. And
So
then it says, oofta. I
Oh,
thought
that's
this
a
was just a funny thing to happen, but lots of people getting mad on here.
I really appreciate the oofda. That's very Midwest
Yep,
lingo right there.
authentic.
So what do you guys think about this?
Is this person an adult?
Very.
I'm going to assume if they own a garage.
Okay.
I mean, it's so cold. I don't think there would be a smell.
Unless they heat the garage.
If I was worried about the smell, I would just like seal it in a Tupperware box or a Ziploc bags or something like that. Like,
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
He's worried about the smell and then brings his fish into the garage. I mean, doesn't that defeat the entire purpose?
So this
You know
didn't have
how-
a question necessarily. I
Yeah.
just really wanted to talk about
That is
this.
hilarious.
I don't understand why you would wash the media in your washing machine. You could just let it dry out and then it would reseed itself much faster the next year. And if it's so cold out, like you could just leave it outside even and it would just freeze and it'd be fine. It would be no smell.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't know that. Maybe he didn't know that it would help to leave it there, even if it like dies, that it would actually reseed faster. These are the things that maybe he wasn't aware of. In fact, maybe like how long into the hobby was it before we learned about it ourselves, right? So
for sure they
I
didn't
just
know
think
that.
it's so funny.
But that
Mhm.
media was very mature, right? Like that's like
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
than
that
a
media
year's
looks
worth
real
of
good.
maturity, right?
That's
Yeah,
even after a wash.
That K1 media looks like forbidden pasta, 100%.
Mhm.
So I had a question about that. You said that it would reseed faster if they hadn't like washed it. I remember you were telling us, Devin, before that actually even if you had bleached it, it would reseed faster because it's already been matured. Is that correct?
Yeah, it just seems like in instances of ponds that have already been cycled, when you want to like restart it, it matures faster.
Are you talking about the media or the pond, like
Just
the
like the whole
walls?
system in general. So the
So
whole
it's not
pond,
just
everything.
isolating the
Yeah.
media. Okay. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to find out how quickly it actually, the beneficial bacteria, colonizes again after it's been matured.
We'll have to have Ty do a study. He has winter.
What do you want me to do?
We want you to test in the spring when you start up your pond, like chart your ammonia cycle, see how quickly it takes your media to mature again after the winter.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Photo evidence, like Woody like photographs his tests like multiple times a day. It's so cute. He has an album on his phone.
I've always thought it would be fun to make an actual chart that is like one of those line charts that like jumps and moves with wherever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's just so much work.
If you give Mickey the data, I'll volunteer her to make the chart for you.
Oh my God. Do you want to know what we were doing for the past 2 days, Ty?
What?
Uh-oh.
We were trying to figure out how many gallons Woody's pond is, right? And there is a
Oh, the
formula
salt?
with the salt,
Yeah.
right? Because the most accurate way is by using a water meter, right? However, like we put the pond the pond was like on first, and then we added the bio and the sieve later, so obviously it's going to be a little bit different. So Woody decided, well, he decided to find out the actual gallons because the first pond was contentious. The second pond, we figured we're going to get this right. And so Woody dumped in like a 40-pound bag of salt, measured the salinity. And for the past 2 days, we have been trying to agree on how many gallons this pond actually is.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
discovered today that the equation that I've been using of 1 pound of salt per 100 gallons equals 1 part per thousand is wrong, because it's actually 1 pound of salt per 120 gallons equals 1 part per thousand.
Oh, that's why it's 12. Woody.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Ty is totally lost right now. All right.
No, I think I helped you guys figure this out, and I'm glad I was here to help you.
So here, for those listening, this is actually, I think, quite useful. To get the salinity, Devin always likes to use parts per thousand. In Japan, they always use the metric system, right? Which it makes things a lot easier. 1,000 liters is equal to 1 ton. Same thing. So 1 kilogram per 1,000 liters is equal to 1 part per thousand, right? To convert that to the American units, it would be 2.2 pounds per 264 gallons is equal to 1 part per thousand.
Or 0.1%, how a lot of people use if you use percentages.
Exactly. Devin had been using this whole time 1 pound of salt per 100 gallons is equal to 1 part per thousand, which doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. We discovered 1 pound of salt per 120 gallons of water equals 1 part per thousand. In all these years, I've been using the equation of 1 pound of salt per 100 gallons equals 1 part per thousand, but that's actually like underestimating it, because you actually need 1 pound in 120 gallons to equal 1. Now I'm confused. So that means I'm actually
You
over adding salt.
overestimated it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the opposite.
Yeah. Which means I've been technically over adding salt by like, what is that, 20%? But I've never actually run into any issues with it. And we were talking to somebody today too that said water temperature plays a role in salinity as well. And I haven't quite looked into it yet, but that's something else
Really?
I think that's interesting. Yeah. Like at lower water temperatures, the salinity doesn't register or something like that. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I want to take a look at it and see.
Maybe if it's low enough for it to freeze, because the salt won't freeze.
Yeah, I know adding salinity to water will lower the freezing point. So you can actually hyper chill water by having salt in it.
So if that was true, the salinity of the ocean would vary in different parts of the ocean.
Yeah. Like in the Arctic.
Is that the case?
I don't know. I got to look it up. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So all of this talk of salinity, the way you guys are describing it, is still very complicated to me. And to me, it's much more simple the way the equation that I found online, which is simply take the number of pounds of salt, times it by 12, and then you divide that number by the difference in salinity before and after.
In percentage.
Yes. Yes, I think in percentage. To me, this parts per thousand is not, I've never thought that way. And so it's a new way I would have to learn and get used to that. but percentage is something that I already understand and is very simple to me. So,
Yeah.
so for example, if your salinity changed by 0.1%, you would take the number of however many pounds of salt times 12 divided by 0.1, and that's how many gallons of water you have.
Yeah. I think
Y'all are
that's quite
making me
accurate.
y'all are making me feel really dumb because the way I did it was I got a 5-gallon bucket and I filled it up, and then I was like, okay, that's 5 gallons. And then I filled up another one, and that was 10 gallons. And then, I was at like 5,000 gallons and
You
did it
filled
that
your
way.
whole pond 5 buckets?
No, I didn't
Gotcha.
actually do that.
I was like, no, that did not happen.
No, what
No,
he did,
no.
he put the hose in the bucket and he started a timer and saw how long it took to fill, and then he just threw the hose in the pond and timed it and
Hey,
divided
that
it
would
by how
work.
long it takes to fill a bucket.
Hey, that's math. That
Mhm.
maths.
Yeah.
No, I put a water meter on my hose.
See,
Ah,
that's the most
that's the best
accurate
way.
way,
See,
for
the problem
sure.
is you have to start with an empty pond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
how I got
What
a
do you?
pretty good idea of how big my pond was. But then
Mhm.
I,
We still don't know the
finished
exact.
my like moving bed filter and other things, and so now I'm not as sure.
So actually, I think that what Woody did is actually a pretty good way of measuring it. It's just he just took the salinity before, dumped an entire bag of salt, waited for it to dissolve, and then measured it after. And then simple formula, it's pretty accurate. It's a good way too of testing, like of figuring out how much salt your pond needs if ever you need to do a quick treatment. Because like I was trying to give Woody a chart today of like, oh, how many pounds of salt he would need to make up the difference between the current and the target salinity. And he's like, I don't need that. Like, what do you mean you don't need that? Oh, once I figured it out, like I only have to figure out one pond once, not like several different systems. So I kind of just, you know,
Ty, if you
get a
want to
feel
be
for
really
it.
confused, you should read that chart.
It's not that confusing. Come on.
I'm sorry, my eyes were glazed over for a second.
Are you
Show 'em the
serious?
chart. I dare
This
you
is
to
our little
understand
cheat
this.
sheet. This is our little cheat sheet. So what it is on the top, you see the target level. So 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. And then on the column here, the rows down here, this column has all the current levels, current salinity levels of the pond. So if you're
Mm.
coming from 0 and you want to get to 3.0 ppt, then for what is this? 1.82 tons, you would need 12 pounds of salt. If you want to get to 3.5, then and it kind of just goes there. Provided, of
Mm.
course, the math is correct. Right, Devin?
Yes.
It was a rounding error, to be honest, what you did. So there.
But at the end of the day, what we discovered is Woody's pond is 4,001 gallons.
That's all we need to know.
No, technically it's 3,990.
No,
4001.
it's
That's all you need to know.
4,001.
Stop the count right there.
Next time, when I eventually get over to your house, Woody, like you guys are gonna be turned around at some point, and I'm gonna go fill up a 5-gallon bucket and put it in the pond,
Well, that's
That
what
is
when
and then you guys would be totally thrown off.
elite
Mickey came up with
sabotage.
this BS number of 3,996. We decided to raise the overflow height a little bit so we could be
There you go.
4,001.
Exactly. That's all you have to do. If the salinity is off, then that means that you need to top off.
Mhm.
There's several ways to see this problem. Many, many different solutions.
Well, you guys, I think this was a great episode.
Yeah.
I hope I learned something today.
So, if you're listening to our show or you're watching this and you want to email us your questions, please email us your questions. Mickey, where can they do that?
www.koipodcast.com. It's a work in progress, but it's functioning.
Yeah, and this is Koi Keepers Anonymous, so we will be nobody will know who you are if you email us your questions unless you say, "Hi, my name is David Smith and I live here." Then,
We're
we'll keep it anonymous.
we're always trying to make improvements. So to improve the anonymous part, I've got myself one of those glasses with the nose and mustache, and I'll be wearing that next time for elite anonymity.
No.
The only
Oh my
problem is
God.
you're gonna have no idea who the hell is sitting in this room with all the guitars.
Yeah, it won't make any sense at all.
Well, hey, where can people find you guys?
Oh, so please visit us at Demikoi. Where are we located, Devin?
We're in Temple City, California. And we're also on the interwebs at www.com.
Oh my God.
DEMIKOI. Wait, www.demikoi.com/ something or other like that. But it's like demikoi.com. We also have a YouTube channel where we do videos. And then
I'm so
we
glad
have
you're
like
not
social
promoting
media
this
stuff.
podcast, Devin.
I looked at your website the other day, and you have a kohaku on there with an S shape.
Oh, yeah.
It's only $100. So
It's Superman.
if somebody's name starts with S, they should buy that fish.
If
Come on,
somebody's
Sam.
super, they should buy that fish.
Sally,
Yeah.
Sam, Steve, step up.
Yes.
That's right.
Please. Yeah. Also find us on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube at Demikoi Official. So where can they find you, Ty?
At the Koi Pit.
Nice.
That's the name of my YouTube channel and my Instagram. I don't do a lot there. And I just make videos about koi fish and koi ponds for fun. How about you, Woody? Where can people find you?
I have an Instagram. It's Bonsai Universe. So I don't really have any fish content on there. I've been told I should put some, but I don't put much content on there at all, really. But there's some pictures like from my gigs and stuff, But
I think
I'm on
that
there.
it would be a great idea to listen to the Bonsai Universe album while enjoying the fish in your pond. How about that?
Yeah.
Who is going to be signing us off tonight?
I think it's Woody's turn.
Let's
Isn't
go,
it?
Woody.
Okay. Dear Koi, please grant me the serenity to accept the sumi I cannot change, the courage to choose my koi, and the wisdom to remember to turn off the hose. Amen.
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 Oh, Ty, when we first...
the bucket method never fails.
Yeah.
You know what does fail? AI.
Yeah, this is great.
AI told me that my pond was millions of gallons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 3 million gallons.
Mm-hmm.
Should he hit the end record so you don't have to trim all this off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.